Welcome to the 20th episode of NPSee, the series that aims to bring the unimportant NPCs from games to light. Let us dive right into the vast province of Cyrodiil in Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. While analysing the Black Horse Courier, the illegal substance and narcotic Skooma was brought up. It appeared in the article Grey Fox Unmasked, wherein Valenaris Coventrol, examined last episode, was an abuser. Let us look at the NPCs that traffic the drug. Nordinor is a small, unassuming wood elf man that lives in Bravil. If you have played, you may have only learned of him during the Dark Brotherhood questline in which a Skooma addict brings him up. The little elf stays in the general store The Fair Deal, run by Nilowen, a wood elf woman. The relationship between them is unknown. Shady Sam is a mysterious Breton man that lurks outside the walls of the Imperial City. If found in his hiding place, he loves to rope people into sordid dealings. As a disclaimer, this video speaks about substance abuse in a video game setting. I do not condone the use of any narcotics in real life. Nordino introduces himself with no particular characterization.
What?
I have a suspicion that this character was inserted with the quest that brings him up, more so than characterized preemptively. Either way, it is nice to know a reliable Skooma source.
Only quality goods for sale here.
He sells 5 doses of the sweet juice, with the mercantile level of apprentice and 400 gold bartering maximum. Shady Sam immediately lets you know his name is not for show.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Come here. I got what you need. You need something special? Check out my wares. You won't find this stuff at your local general store, that's for damn sure.
Fittingly, he sells an array of sorted things, poisons, lockpicks, and last but not least, a dose of skooma. If only one were enough.
Come see me anytime, friend. I'm here day or night.
I wish to also look at Nilowen to make sure she's not missed.
You'll always get a fair deal here. I'm Nilowen. What can I get you?
She speaks on how she inherited the business.
What's a pretty young thing like me doing in this swamp town? I inherited the business from my late husband, and I aim to make it work.
I hope things pick up for her soon. She sells an array of general goods, armor, scrolls, and repair hammers. The special item in her shop is the Robe of Creativity, which boosts the wearer's intelligence and personality at the expense of agility. Nordinor rises at 9 AM from his place of rest in the Fair Deal and goes to the lonely Cedar Lodge on the other side of town for a lengthy breakfast. At 2 PM, he travels back to the Fair Deal, where he remains, wandering around until midnight. From then, he walks to the alley just beside the building to conduct his drug business. He deals until 4 AM before heading inside to sleep. Shady Sam remains at his position northeast of the Chestnut Handy Stables, outside the Imperial City's walls. He is dedicated, standing stock still for 24 hours a day, 365, 7 years, whatever. Nilowen is also quite static, but in the normal merchant way. She never leaves the Fair Deal. Between 8 AM and 8 PM, she minds the shopfront, and the rest of her time is spent wandering the shop, eating, or sleeping. The Fair Deal is a general shop near the north gate of Bravil. It is one of the larger buildings of Bravil design, wooden, rustic, and mishmashy. It has 3 floors of rough wood with semi-shoddy windows. The first floor is the shop front and, likely, the kitchen. Covering the center is a large counter to solicit business. There are some cupboards and chests and a small dining zone beside the fireplace. This one has a cooking pot in it, which is nice. It's surprisingly uncommon to see an actual kitchen. Upstairs is a working area, perhaps for tailoring, and the door to Nordinor's room. His space is small, but outfitted with what you need: a dusty bed, table, and seating space. The third floor is Nilowen's room, which contains 2 single beds, some storage for each, and a touch of decor. Although Shady Sam does not have a house, he does stand in one place. This nook can be found by exiting the Imperial City from the Talos Plaza district and turning to the right, or the north. Walk through the nearby stables and up the path alongside the city wall. He stands in an indentation along, hidden by a rock, tree, and bush. Just walk and keep looking to the wall, and you can't miss him. There is not much amazing about the place, but it does have a nice view of the long bridge, and down the slope is the shrine to Julianus, one of the 9 divines. Hopefully you are morally good enough to receive its blessing. Fortify intelligence. That'll offset the 5 doses of skooma.
Greetings.
Nordinor and Nilowen fight back as commoners with fists before running away. However, Nordi is protected by the game-designed guards. and thus can never die. On his person is a dark green shirt, laced leather pants, and stitched leather shoes. Nilowen is not so lucky. She wears a drab-collared shirt, breeches, and buckled shoes. Shady Sam fights back with his small iron short sword, but does not put up much of a fight anyway. He doesn't back down or run though, so there's that. His stock is hidden unfortunately, so all you can loot besides the sword are his weightless black hood, shirt and pants, and his leather boots. Skooma is the catch-all illegal narcotic for the Elder Scrolls universe. It is crafted by distilling refined moon sugar, a sweet substance associated with the Khajiit. It is the most prolific, addictive poison aside from alcohol and is outlawed by the Emperor and in many parts of Tamriel. Across the games, the substance has had different effects on the user. For NPCs, this is always the same. They become addicted, spend all their wealth on it, and all become burdens on society. A surprising amount of people use it in secret all over the world.
For me.
But for the player it is more interesting. In Oblivion, Skooma greatly boosts the user's speed and strength, 60 points each, at the expense of damaging intelligence by 2 points and draining agility by 60 points. The effect lasts for a short time, 20 seconds, and can stack up to 8 times by using them simultaneously. This means you can be a short-term unstoppable force.
Look out! Help!
Beware not having stamina when the effect wears off, however. In Morrowind, these effects are similar. Skooma only fortifies strength and speed by 20 points, draining agility and intelligence by the same amount, but you can stack it infinitely. This allows you, if you ingest enough Skooma, to zoom across the map, killing everything and everyone. In Skyrim, it is a cheap and terrible stamina potion. Thanks, Todd. I wish they kept it that Skooma was an expensive, silly thing the player could have fun with, but I suppose they thought adding dragons would make up for it. Shady Sam and Nordinor supply Skooma to all of Cyrodiil, and there are some notable groups and locations that abuse the narcotic. One place is fairly easy to come across. It is the Skooma Den in the high-rise shacks of Breville. Therein, there are a handful of NPCs that spend their days in chemical bliss.
Crap up!
A more obscure group is the Orym Gang, the very group that Vilanaris Covinshell said to be wary of in the paper.
You stupid?
It could be fun to look into these groups in some kind of YouTube video in the future. Let the NPCs Nordino, Shady Sam, and Nilowen be NPSeen, but not overly NP scrutinized. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again in the next episode.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you.